service. In this connection, Srila Gurudeva used to say, the chastisement of the disciple is the mercy of Shri Guru. If Shri Guru is always glorifying the disciple, this is cheating. Gosvami Maharaj was saying, I've been cheated. I have been cheated. And externally, Guru is glorifying me so much because society sees this as what is most beneficial to them. But who will actually take chastisement? One who has offered themselves the lotus feet of Shri Guru. Guru knows that if I chastise this disciple, then he may go away. In Bengali proverb, unripened bamboo, if you bend that bamboo, unripened ripen, then it easily bends. But if it is ripened bamboo, very stiff, then it will snap. What is the meaning of this? One can chastise that person who will be able to take that chastisement. Otherwise, it's not possible. In relationship to Gurudev's teachings, there was one disciple. He was very learned and wealthy and learned and educated. He came to Gurudev. Gurudev said, if you want to stay in the mud, you have to serve. What will you have to do? Serve. The disciple said, what service can I do? Gurudev said, every day you have to bring one pot of water from the Ganga, and then that will be used for offering to Thakurji. That disciple every day used to bathe in the Ganga and bring back water from there that was offered to the Thakurji for their service. One day, that brahmacari was a bit late in bringing back some water, so the pujari chastised him. In his mind, that brahmacari thought, he was a bit hurt in his mind. I am learned, I am educated. Why did this pujari chastise me in this way? I will leave the mutt and go somewhere else. One thinks they will stay in the temple as long as one is praised. But because this brahmacari thought that the pujari was not treating him well, treating him nicely, then he had the desire to leave back to his home. He took his pot to the Ganga and leaving that pot on the bank of the Ganga, and he would leave. At that time, that pot started to say, oh, brahmacari, come here. Yes, you want to go home, okay, but first, listen to my story, my history. The pot began to say, where was my birth? my birth was in the mud, where people throw dirt and rubbish. I was mud in that place. One day, one potter, a potter you saw, and we saw today on Kishorika, and Kadirwan we saw. In that way, I was born. This potter took me home, and he put me in the sun to bake or dry in the sun, in the baking, scorching heat. After drying me, he took one big stick and beat me and made me into fine powder. Thereafter, put water on me, cold water, and then with his hands and feet started to mix, like you make roti when you add water to the flour. Then the more you knead the atta, the flour, the nicer the roti will be. In this way, the potter started to knead, beat, churn, and turn me again. Then, when I was ready, then he put me on the potter's wheel, and with the skill of his hand, he shaped me into a pot, and then again he put me in the scorching heat of the sun in the month of June, July. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days passed. Then when I was completely dry, and then he put me in fire. After 3 or 4 days in the fire, becoming red hot, and then he took me out. And then he put some color on me. And then he took me to the market. And so many people came, took my ears, and lifted me up. When you lift a pot, and then you tapped me. If you want to buy any clay pot, you will buy it in this way. First, you will tap it for the sound, the ring. And if it's cracked, then you get a different sound. And if it's not cracked, then you get a different ring. And then, if you cannot see the tiny cracks, then they put it in water. See if there's any leak. So many people beat me in the market like this. 22 marketplace, Haridas Thakur was beaten. And here I was beaten like that. Like this. With one hand, I was taken and beaten. So, those who liked the pot, some didn't. This time the pot is speak. Pot is showing his own life story. And your Gurudev came and beat me. When you buy a pot, you have to test it to see if it's a good pot. And then he put me in water and put me in the temple. Look how many years I've been in the temple. After using a pot again and again, it becomes very shiny and fragrant. Staying in the temple with that smell of the incense, of the ghee, of sandalwood. Now see how sweet I smell. And like this, the poet explained his life. And now look at you, the pujari said a few words, and now you're thinking of leaving. Listening to the life story of the poet. Then the brahmacari started to have thoughts and changed his mind, and he returned in the much and started to live in the much. Gurudev used to give this example, how we should live in the much, how we stay with sadhu very humbly. If the sadhu chastises, then you should understand that he is showering his mercy on you. If the sadhu doesn't chastise you, then he's not showing his mercy on you. This Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he wrote, we not get the mercy of the sadhu until we receive his chastisement. If we are not chastised, then we not get the mercy. For this reason, if we stay in the temple under the guidance and shelter of Krishna Guru and Vaishnav and accept their chastisement. We used to stay with Gurudeva at Keshavji Gaudiya Math. He used to chastise us so much. So many brahmacaris that came, so many left. There's no account of this. Even from different mats, the brahmacharis used to come because Gurudev's glories were heard by people far and wide. Even those who were initiated used to come 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. If they stayed 1 year, then they will stay for the rest of their life. The Gurudev's chastisement we have seen. His hands and feet, they used to work together. Do you understand what that means? If you make a little mistake, then he used to beat. And at the same time, Gurudev used to show so much love and affection. His love and affection and his chastisement, both. Those who tolerated what you are hearing, what is, listen to this bhajan pranali, shloka, trinadapi sunichena, anya sadahari. Until you have this level of tolerance, then we cannot enter into the realm of devotion. We have to learn to be tolerant. Then we can advance more. Hari Lal ki jai. Today we have lived together and performed Brajmandal parikrama. From Vrndavana, we started Govardhan. We've come to Govardhan. Ki jai. एक दो दिन परसों 2 days left. Kal, only tomorrow, really. So we will finish with this very sweet note of the disappearance day of our Guru Varg, Bhakti Nitilal Vaishnava Ishtapada Satra Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosvami Maharaj disappearance day, and Vaishnavas and their appearance day and disappearance day, very auspicious days. Like even more auspicious than the appearance day of the Lord is the appearance day or disappearance day of the devotees of the Lord. Then we can enter into the realm of devotion, how they performed their sadhana with renunciation. And hearing this we will become more enthusiastic, eager. If we do not hear the lifetime pastimes of Sri Guru, then this devotion cannot enter into our heart. We should try and listen every day to Sri Guru's life. One is bhakta-bhagavata and the other is grantha-bhagavata. The person Bhagavat and the book Bhagavat. We should listen to the life story of the bhakta-bhagavata again and again. What do we listen? What do we listen? Bhaktas, devotees, life. We have heard about in Brihad Bhagavatam, Sanatana Gosvami Pad has explained of the various devotees, and then after he made a category of the different devotees. What is Jnani Bhakta, Shuddha Bhakta, Premi Bhakta, Prem Pad Bhakta, Prematur Bhakta. Jnani Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj, Shuddha Bhakta Ambrish Maharaj, Premi Bhakta Hanuman, Prem Pad Bhakta Pandava, Prematur Bhakta Uddhava. And the Brajavasis are who? They are not the categories of devotees. They are the crown jewel. And these Brajavasis and Radha, Srimati Radhika and others, and their glories. What we heard at the pastimes of the life of the devotees, how they have performed bhajan and so they have served. What we have heard, we should keep in our heart. What we have heard and practice and chant and remember that, not just chanting by lips, but also remembering the pastimes of the Lord and His devotees. Like Rupa Goswami said in Upadeshamritam, Vrajanuragi Jananugami Rupa Goswami has written, what is the essence of all the teachings? To chant and remember the sweet pastimes, name, form, qualities of the Lord, and slowly enter the mind into the pastimes of the Braj and devotees of Braj. Here we are. Vichakalpatrascha, Kripasindhivaicha, Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo. Shri Govind Bihari Lal ki jai. Shri Radhe.